Hey, I'm Matt Woodford here for CJSF 90.1 FM in Burnaby. We're sitting here with Jesse Wentzloff,
Hello.
our public affairs and talk coordinator.
That's me,
Jesse. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and about your position here at CJSF?
Sure. I have been a volunteer / programmer / staff member in some form or another here since 2009, 2010, long time, coming up on 10 years. I've followed the whole path through, know-nothing volunteer to jambalaya programmer, starting in 2012. Started doing my own show with Jamie Sesford called the Vancouver Mixtape, where we feature local independent artists from the greater Vancouver area. With
Sundays at 8 o'clock.
Interviews, musics. Often we'll have bands on to play some of their favorite local music, which is fun. Since just over 2 years now, I've been the public affairs and talk coordinator at the station, as you mentioned off the top. I oversee all the interview and general talk content that you hear on CJSF. I help train volunteers. I help set up interviews for them. And I host one edition of Speak Up, which is our department talk show, which runs Monday through Friday, 10 to 11. I host the Thursday edition, and that's just always a new and different mix of talk content. Sometimes it's radio plays, sometimes it's interviews, sometimes it's just me talking about weird stuff I found at the station. That was a couple weeks ago. That was a good one.
And I think that your department specifically does represent a lot of what community radio is about and what it has to offer.
Sure.
So maybe elaborate a little bit on the nature of the importance of having that conversation.
Yeah, well, I mean, we exist to elevate and amplify marginalized voices. And one of the best ways to do that is through talk programming that lets those voices speak, whether they're talking, whether it's someone interviewing a community member, or whether it's having those community members actually come up onto our station and do shows that highlight their own community. We have Voice of the North and a whole bunch of other sort of community-centered shows that are often third language or in English that do a really good job of doing interviews and presenting news and other important information and cultural discussion.
Especially representing here not only what's going on where that culture takes place, initially, but also a local flavor to it as well.
Yeah, and for a lot of people, I know Arturo, who does the Italian show, his is more music, but just that community connection, that it's very obvious what he does for the community and what they do for the radio station.
And that is, once again, like a real strong suit of community radio in general.
For sure.
And I think in order for that to take place, it takes places like CJSF and people like yourself in order to help facilitate that.
Totally. And I want people to come up to the station and talk. Like, I want people to want to do interviews, and I exist to just make that happen. I'm not gonna get in your way and tell you, no, you can't talk, you can't do that interview. When I hear what you want to interview, what interview you want to do, what your subject might be, my only hesitation is thinking okay, how can we make this happen? What do we need? What skills do you need in order to be able to do this, and what can I do to help you along that path?
And so people can get a hold of you through cjsf.ca?
Yeah, my info's up on there at cjsf.ca, but it's CJSFPA at sfu.ca if you got story tips, if you want to get involved, or you can come by the station. I'm here most weekdays.
Awesome. Well, Jesse, thanks for stopping by. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and best of luck.
Yeah, thanks, Matt.
All right.